Do you remember the Digivice toy slash video game hybrid from back in the day? It was the Tamagotchi equivalent marketed for cool, tough boys, and of course it was the item that the main characters in the Digimon TV show always used. Well, if you had a Digivice and you kept it, you, my friend, are sitting on a miniature fortune. I've known about this for a few years, but I decided to make a video about it because every now and then I'll be reminiscing with friends about toys and shows from the past, and the Digivice comes up. I tell them that Digimon toys are now huge collector's items, and it blows their minds. So I thought I'd tell you folks on YouTube as well, just in case this is news to you. I first became aware of the prices used Digivices sold for when I worked at this used video game store, and people would on very rare occasions try to trade in their Digivices. We'd look up the going prices based on sold listings on eBay and other online sales sites, and it would always shock me how much they were going for. And in the years since, the price on old Digivices has only gone up. So what am I talking about here? Well, I've seen them go for as low as $100-ish, but as high as 1,000 US dollars, and that's keeping in mind that these used to go for like $30 at Walmart. Like, here's one that sold 3 weeks ago for $250. It's the D3 V2 Davis's Digivice from season 2. Lots of nostalgia associated with this one, and yeah, sold for 250 Canadian dollars. Now, I was always a big fan of the season 4 Digivice design, and fewer people were watching season 4. I think the general Digimania was definitely fading out in the West, so this sealed version of the Digivice detector sold for 700 US dollars on October 31st of this year. Maybe you remember the season 3 Digivice, the D-Power. It came in that massive box that also contained the card to do the swiping and the CD-ROM to make the Digimon experience on your computer. Sealed in box, this one sold this week for $715. And obviously there's the season 1 Digivice, also sold for $800. That's used but complete in box. The last one I'll shout out in this video is one that's still live as of the time of this recording. It's the 2002 season 4 detector, again the version 1, selling for 1,000 US dollars. Now, seeing these prices is so wild to me because I remember these things being like $30 tops in Canada. So the question you may be asking is why? Why is this stuff so expensive? And this was a question I'd get asked all the time when I worked in the retro video game store, so I'll try to answer that for you. Ultimately, it's the same story with retro games like Earthbound and Chrono Trigger, those popular SNES and NES games that are mega expensive these days. There aren't as many copies in the wild as you think. Many were simply tossed by parents or kids who never in a million years thought they would be valuable, which is ironically what made them valuable. And with them being this electronic battery-based game slash toy, there are so many ways for these to not survive the test of time, from battery erosion to screen cracks and more. So kids who grew up playing with these Digivices became adults like us, somehow reconnected with Digimon, whether that was from watching the Digimon Try movies or watching Last Evolution, or maybe watching the Digimon Adventure 2020 reboot or Ghost Game or whatever re-entry route they took. Now you have adults with nostalgia and some disposable income, but the supply doesn't meet the demand because there were so many of them lost, broken, or thrown away. So the prices are way up there. There's only enough stock for the highest bidder, basically. It's kind of the same story as Rock Band and Guitar Hero instruments. Those things were everywhere in 2007 to 2010. Then people were literally giving them away. But now in 2021, there's a small community trying to rebuild their Rock Band and Guitar Hero collections for nostalgia, but it's super difficult to find the instruments because they either all broke or they were thrown in the trash. So sometimes you can get a good deal at Goodwill or on Facebook Marketplace if the seller doesn't realize what they're sitting on, but if a seller knows what it's worth, as with these Digivices, it'll cost you hundreds of dollars to get this stuff back in your arms. To be honest, I feel kind of sad about the monetization of nostalgia, creating this scenario where reconnecting with your childhood will cost you an arm and a leg, but on the other hand, there are a million other ways to reconnect with Digimon and your past hobbies that won't cost you as much money. Like, there are a ton of 3D printed Digivice replicas at any fan convention you'd go to, and a ton on Etsy stores. If you don't need the video game component and you just want a physical version of the Digivice to hold, for example, those 3D prints will do the trick. But if you do, by some twist of fate, still have your old Digivice or Digivices, multiple, now you know you're sitting on a small fortune, and it seems like the demand and value is only going up. So whether you decide to keep yours or sell yours, it's your decision to make, but now you know. So let me know, are there other toys you know about like this that are absurdly expensive nowadays? Let me know, because I know some of these, but I don't know them all. I'd love to find out, like, are old Metabots toys going for hundreds or thousands of dollars, for example? I don't know. All right, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.